Hello all and welcome back to Eerie Storytime. Today we delve into the dark shadows surrounding us while we sleep. Imagine waking up in the dead of night frozen in fear, as a shadowy figure presses down on your chest. You can't move, you can't breathe, your mind is racing. Is it just a dream, or could it be something far more sinister? Are you ready to dive into the chilling urban legend of the Old Hag Syndrome? According to the urban legend, victims fall asleep as usual, but while they are sleeping, something eerie happens to them. They suddenly wake up, their bodies paralyzed, unable to move a muscle. The room is cloaked in darkness to where they can barely make out the familiar shapes around them. Their hearts race as they realize they are completely paralyzed. Next, they feel a crushing weight on their chests, stealing their breath. It's as if an invisible force is pressing down, making it hard to breathe. Panic sets in as they struggle to take in air, their chests heaving with the effort. They struggle to cry out, but no sound escapes their lips. Their mouths are open, but their voices are trapped inside, leaving them in only a silent scream. The fear is overwhelming and they feel utterly helpless. Then, they see her. A grotesque, shadowy figure looming over them. Her presence is menacing, and her features are twisted and horrifying. She seems to be watching, feeding off of their fear and anguish. This terrifying experience, known as the Old Hag Syndrome, has haunted humanity for centuries. Throughout history, people from various cultures have reported similar encounters describing the same eerie figure and the same paralyzing fear. The Old Hag Syndrome is a chilling phenomenon often linked to sleep paralysis, a condition where individuals temporarily experience paralysis while falling asleep or waking up. During these moments, the brain is awake, but the body remains immobile, creating a disconcerting disconnect. This paralysis, while harmless, can be incredibly frightening, often accompanied by hallucinations and a sense of dread. The mind, caught between sleep and wakefulness, conjures up vivid and terrifying images, making the experience even more unsettling. It is within this state of vulnerability that the legend of the Old Hag takes shape. The figure of the Old Hag, with her malevolent presence, becomes a symbol of the fear and helplessness felt during these episodes. The Old Hag Syndrome, though known by many names, has haunted cultures across the globe for centuries. Its roots run deep in folklore and superstition, reflecting our primal fear of the unknown and the vulnerability we feel in our sleep. Reports of the phenomenon date back to ancient times. In some cultures, it was attributed to supernatural beings, demons, or witches who preyed on the helpless during the night. In medieval Europe, the experience was often linked to demonic visitation or witchcraft, fueling the flames of superstition and fear. The first documented use of the term Old Hag to describe this sleep paralysis phenomenon appeared in Newfoundland, Canada, in the early 20th century. However, similar accounts, often involving a malevolent entity sitting on the chest of the victim, can be found in folklore and mythology worldwide. The enduring nature of this legend across such diverse cultures suggests a common thread: the universal human experience of sleep paralysis and our attempts to explain this unsettling phenomenon through storytelling and myth-making. Those who have experienced sleep paralysis, particularly when accompanied by hallucinations, often describe it as a profoundly disturbing and terrifying event. The feeling of being completely immobilized while fully conscious is a nightmare in itself. Imagine waking up in the middle of the night, your mind alert but your body unresponsive, as if you are trapped in a living nightmare. The sensation of being trapped within one's own body, unable to move or call for help, is deeply unsettling. It's as if an invisible force is holding you down, preventing any movement or cry for assistance. This helplessness can amplify the fear, making the experience even more harrowing. Many describe feeling a crushing weight on their chest, making it difficult to breathe. This pressure can feel like an immense burden, as if something heavy is sitting on your chest, suffocating you. The struggle to draw breath can be so intense that it feels like you are fighting for your life. This sensation is often accompanied by auditory and visual hallucinations. The mind, in its state of panic, conjures up terrifying images and sounds that seem all too real. Flickering lights, distorted visuals, and eerie sounds can make the experience even more surreal and frightening. Some hear footsteps approaching their bed, whispering voices, or even menacing laughter. These auditory hallucinations can be incredibly vivid, making it feel like someone or something is in the room with you, heightening the sense of danger and fear. Others see shadowy figures lurking in the room, grotesque faces, or, most commonly, the dreaded old hag herself. These visual hallucinations can be so detailed and lifelike that they blur the line between reality and illusion. The old hag is often described as a grotesque, witch-like figure. Her presence is menacing and terrifying, often leaving a lasting impression on those who encounter her in their sleep paralysis episodes. She may be hunched over with long, sharp fingernails, glowing eyes, and a menacing grin. Her appearance is designed to instill fear, and she often succeeds in doing so, leaving victims paralyzed with terror. Victims report feeling a sense of overwhelming dread and fear, as if they are in the presence of pure evil. This feeling of malevolence can be so intense that it lingers long after the episode has ended, affecting the person's mental and emotional well-being. These terrifying hallucinations, coupled with the paralysis, create a potent cocktail of fear that can leave a lasting impact on those who experience it. The combination of being unable to move and seeing or hearing terrifying things can make sleep paralysis one of the most frightening experiences a person can endure. The experience can be so vivid and unsettling that it blurs the line between nightmare and reality, leaving victims questioning their sanity and dreading the fall of night. The fear of experiencing another episode can lead to anxiety and sleep disturbances, creating a vicious cycle that is hard to break. For many, the mere thought of going to bed becomes a source of dread, as they fear being trapped in another nightmarish encounter with sleep paralysis. The legend of the Old Hag, though rooted in folklore, has had a tangible impact on our collective psyche. This ancient tale, often shared in hushed tones around campfires or during late-night gatherings, has seeped into the very fabric of our cultural consciousness. For many, the fear of experiencing sleep paralysis and encountering the Old Hag is very real. The mere thought of waking up paralyzed, unable to move or cry out, while a sinister presence looms over them, can be terrifying. This fear can manifest in anxiety surrounding sleep, leading to insomnia and a reluctance to discuss the experience for fear of ridicule or disbelief. The dread of facing another night of potential terror can create a vicious cycle, where the fear of sleep itself exacerbates the problem. Culturally, the Old Hag Syndrome has been woven into the fabric of our storytelling traditions. These stories, passed down through generations, serve not only as entertainment but also as a means of imparting cautionary lessons. It serves as a cautionary tale, a warning against the dangers that lurk in the shadows of the night. The Old Hag becomes a symbol of the unknown fears that we all harbor, a representation of the anxieties that come alive in the dark. The legend has withstood the test of time, shaping our perception of sleep paralysis and reinforcing the fear associated with this unsettling experience. In some cultures, the experience may be attributed to supernatural causes, leading individuals to seek solace in traditional remedies or spiritual practices. Rituals, prayers, and protective charms are often employed in an attempt to ward off these nocturnal visitations. Understanding the psychological and cultural dimensions of the Old Hag Syndrome is crucial to dispelling the fear and stigma associated with sleep paralysis. By exploring the roots of these legends, people hope to better understand the human need to explain and control the unknown. By recognizing the legend as a product of our collective imagination and fear of the unknown, we can begin to approach this phenomenon with a more rational and informed perspective. Education and open discussion can help demystify sleep paralysis, providing comfort and reassurance to those who experience it. In doing so, we can transform the Old Hag from a figure of terror into a symbol of our shared journey towards understanding the mysteries of the human mind. Let's call it a wrap on Old Hag Syndrome. I knock on wood as I say that I've never experienced this and hope I never do. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for joining me on today's shadowy delve into urban legends. Please like and subscribe. Until next time.